No! No! No!
Horror Pop Extravaganza.
Welcome back to the Horror Pop Extravaganza. Welcome back. It's where the macabre and the mindful come together for your entertainment each and every week with Pops Ghostly and Little Duke. Spooky is the horror pop extravaganza. It's the horror pop extravaganza. And now to your host, the one ghost with the most. I'll turn it over to the one and only Pops Ghostly. I'm Pops Ghostly. That was all off the dome.
That's beautiful, dude. Beautiful. Although I will say it'd be more impressive if somebody did that for you than if the fact that you did it for yourself and introduced yourself.
See, I feel like it's easier to get away with shit when you talk about yourself in the third person.
100%, dude. 100%.
You know,
I do that all the
I
time.
learned a lot from MF Doom. He was like, "No, it's not me saying the fucked up shit. It's these characters." You know what I mean?
Right.
The separation of character and state. Separation of character. I don't know. I don't know what you want to call it. Before we get too far into this, welcome. If this is your first time, the show does not always start like that, but usually starts in some weird way. And this, the Horror Pop Extravaganza, where we bring the macabre, which is a piece of horror cinema history, and the mindful, maybe a life experience or idea we can take and incorporate, make actionable in our own lives to hopefully enrich not only ourselves, but the world around us. So, as the intro said, I sang to myself because that's what I be doing. I'm my only friend. Um, I am Pops Ghostly, and with me, as always,
Little Duke Spooky.
I like that. How Ed McMahon of you.
Thank you.
How
I feel like you're Ed McMahon sometimes. I just sit on the couch and laugh.
hilarious.
Hilarious, Johnny.
Fart, dick joke. Mm.
Uh,
It has it has been a little bit since we recorded. The episodes haven't lagged or anything like that because we planned accordingly, trying to be responsible, make sure the episodes get out. But I was down in Florida for 4 days doing the Universal Disney hop and stuff like that. Got to do Horror Nights, which was a lot of fun. Disney Magic Kingdom, in my opinion, is a little bit, we're probably going to lose every listener right now. It's a little bit overrated. But the Universal Epic Universe was a ton of fun. Universal is more my speed, I should say. Disney's your fucking jam. Then I'm sure Magic Kingdom is, magical. Like my kid was like, "Yo, fucking Chip and Dale is right there in their bed." I was like, "I know. Where's Gadget?" But no, it was cool. But that day it got really hot. We got downpoured on for about an hour walk out of the park. And but doing the Universal thing in the Horror Nights was a ton of fun. But somebody picked up something in my family along the way, and I've been sick for the past couple of days. And when you get
oh,
sick
no.
with MS, it's like I'm not, all of a sudden it's like, oh, you got this fucked up neurological disorder. You're not all of a sudden immune to getting normal people fucking sick, like a cold or something like that. So I'm pretty sure Annabelle had it first because she was like, scratchy. You know how kids do. I'm like, oh, here it comes. And then she can't sleep at night. So she's crawling in bed with me, put her head on the pillow, and just fucking breathe the waste right in my face. Right into my nose. So I think I picked something up. But when you got MS, it's like, okay, yeah, I got a cold, but I also got hit by a truck at at the same time. That's it. It's almost like anything. The closest thing I can equate it to that I had before was that like real bad COVID. If you ever had COVID, where you're just like or a really intense flu where you're in the hospital and about to die. not so much the fever and stuff. I don't get a fever or anything like that, but the body fatigue and the aches and the pains. And, some of it was walking 5 miles a day, trying to push myself fucking in my with my little wheelie cart through fucking Harry Potter land, fucking here we go, which was a cool ride. I think butterbeer is a little bit overrated too. It was all right. It was fine. I was like, I just want a stick of butter ground up into a shake. No, I'm kidding. It was cool though, the amount of money that goes into that shit is just unreal. And I do think Universal, one of my gripes with Disney was our fast pass shit was on a time window. Like you had to be at this one exact one by this exact time. And at Universal, it was, I mean, there was $300 a fucking head at Universal extra to get those faster, quicker ones. However, it was just all day. You know what I mean? Like you went to the rides where you could go to the rides and they just let you in the express line. So I thought that was a little better as well. So anyway, all long story short, if I'm a little bit slower this evening as we talk about this, I have been battling an illness on top of an illness on top of a lot of good times that were had and on top of some other shit and all kinds of stuff. So uh we have a movie to talk about that upon rewatching I was like there's actually some shit to talk about in this fucking some stuff that I and it's one that I've seen a few times. We ran through our Halloween season. I did want to let you know that I checked out the new Hell House. There is a new Hell House LLC, the Carmichael Manor lineage.
Yes.
Did you watch
I
it?
went down the whole rabbit hole last week, dude, and watched them all except for that one because it wasn't available. How did you watch it?
I think it just hit Shutter, like dropped on
Oh,
Halloween or the
okay.
night before. So yeah, check your Shutter. But what did you think about going down the Hell
I
House kind of?
I loved it, dude. Like I feel like I shouldn't love it. Like I'm like this seems like it's cheap entertainment, but I fucking love it.
It was built on a really cool premise. It was thought out. It
Yeah,
wasn't cheap to the extent of exploitation.
right.
Found footage exploitation. I don't know what you
And
call it,
it
but
built on the mythology a little bit as it went, but didn't go so far to like explain it totally where it took all the fascination out of it. So, there's some weird stuff that goes on in there that doesn't ever get explained, and I'm fine with that. It's just
and
great.
you'll get some more of that in the newest edition. It's interesting. It kind of ties a lot together, though. It takes a needle and starts threading shit together, and then leaves it
Huh.
open ended. Even though I want to say I read that Stephen Cognetti in an interview mentioned that he was done with Hell House, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Hell House is done. It just might be changing hands,
Right.
going to somebody else, which fine, dude. If you want to make fun little Halloween movies out of these at this point, I'm totally down for it. It's cool.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
this one is not a found footage movie.
Really?
Yeah. Not it's shot like a straight, you know what I mean? So
Uh-huh.
it's different and it explores a lot of you do get interlaced video and stuff like that, but for the most part, it is straightforward cinema. So let's get into today.
Let's.
We got to go back to 1985.
4.
Four? Are you
Yeah.
sure?
Let me check IMDb. It's right here.
Okay, yeah. Check IMDb for me, please.
1984.
Okay, 1984.
PG-13 on this bad boy.
No way, really?
Yes. Yes way.
Man, when was Raiders of the Lost Ark? Because that's the one that got it, right? Was it Raiders or no? It was Temple of Doom.
Temple of
Wasn't
Doom,
it
yeah.
Temple of Doom
And
where they
Temple of
were
Doom, I think, was 84.
and something else? Yeah. So right around this time, they were like, "Yo, fuck, you gotta stop showing fucked up shit to little kids." We need a better rating system. It's the movies that are doing it, not coming out of a Vietnam War and starting everybody do cocaine all at once. 1984. I'm a little ghostly, crapping in my pants at 2 years old. Probably not checking out Ghoulies. However, come circa 1988, 89, I was in the video store and saw one of the most terrifying images I think you could see on a video store wall as you were looking through the VHSs.
100,000,000%, dude. I couldn't watch it just because of the cover because I was like, I like pooping too much.
Right.
I'm not gonna ruin pooping for myself. Jaws ruined swimming, so I'm not gonna ruin pooping now.
And it was so iconic because you just got this slimy little grease monster coming out of a shitter, just like ah. all
like a
teeth.
baby coming out of a shitter, kind of.
Yeah, like the
Which
shitter is giving birth to this demonic presence. It's
which goes back to last week.
evil cousin.
His
All
evil
right,
cousin.
the baby in the shitter.
The
Right.
baby in the shitter. We went full circle. We did another movie with a
When
baby in a
Paul
shitter.
Rudd found a baby in a shitter, which when I was going through, editing and stuff, I gotta say the fucking it. You make me laugh sometimes, dude, and I really appreciate your presence here because even re-listening to it, I'm like, fuck, like, baby was right in the shitter. We need a T-shirt that says that the baby's in the shitter. The Horror Pop Extravaganza. Speaking of which, your shirt is sweet. We have an official horror pop shirt. I like it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I can't wait to get mine in a couple days here. I've been looking into some more merchandise. Anyway, let's get to the movie. Let's get to the
Let's
movie.
get to it.
Because Ghoulies, when I finally got around to seeing it, I don't remember it as I do, I would say, in the last 4 to 5 years. Because I know there was a time, but I think I was drinking very heavily at the time. But I watched all 4 of them back to back.
There's 4 of these motherfuckers.
There's 4 total. First 2, I think, super fun. From what I remember, 3, the Ghoulies go to college, and then 4 was some kind of I can't even remember. I don't remember anything about 4, but I know it does exist, and it's a little bit harder to come by. I don't know where it's streaming or anything like that. But the original Ghoulies was something that my mom would just be like, "Okay, pick what the fuck you want," and she told me as an adult, she's like, "It's almost like you would put yourself through these endurance tests. Like you were scared of everything." She's like, "There was when you were little, like 4 or 5, you were fucking scared of Roger." My mom didn't say fucking. She don't ever swear like that. But she was like, you were scared of Bugs Bunny masks and Ronald Reagan. Somebody had a Ronald Reagan mask and it freaked you out. I was like, Ma, come on now. As an adult, like Ronald Reagan, the masks with the fucked up features and shit are still kind of scary. But she's like, you would watch it anyway and kind of, almost desensitize yourself to the fear of the world. But Ghoulies was one of those that I remember having the VHS and picking it off the wall and being like, I want to go through this, but being really scared. And then, like you said, I had a really awkward relationship with defecating for a while.
I think we all did, dude.
I didn't want a little green man to get me this. And then, but what's worse is this isn't even as bad as arachnophobia got me.
Yeah.
Arachnophobia, the shower, the toilet, with Jock Candy's big hands back there, John Goodman's big hands back there, twiddling the thing. You just see the going away. At least this, very unrealistic. But I was also a child that still, a child who grew into a man who still kind of looks at sewer grades like, yo. I might hear the circus. I don't know. It gets to you like that. And this is one of those things for me. But rewatching it, I'm like, this is 1984, 1985, 1986. Like, Rev, this is the cocaine fucking fueled. We're figuring out how to make special effects in weird different ways. Everybody's trying to copy Star Wars as far as doing lighting and sound effects and things like that. And we get some cool shit, like the Chiodo brothers with Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That's a great mix of practical and what were modern effects of the time. And I think this does capture some of that. And I'm like, but at the end of it, I'm like, is this a horror movie? Is it Willow? Is it, what? There's so many genres going on. It's a fantasy movie. It's a satanic panic movie. It's a monster movie, a gremlin movie. It's in some ways a tragic love story. And we may even get into that. Who knows? But Ghoulies from 1984 is something that you, I believe, had never seen, correct?
No, this is my first viewing, 2025. First time seeing Ghoulies.
All right. So I know this is one of the ones I'm going to have to talk you into a higher score. I'm getting my go at it pants on.
Your go at it pants? Does your wife know about those?
Only you, baby. Only you. So we open up to Ghoulies. Now, okay, wait. Before we even open up on Ghoulies, had you been and seen the shit, though? You said it scares you a little bit. Did you know anything about it outside of it made you never want to watch the movie?
Nope. I assumed that at some point a ghoulie was going to pop out of a toilet, and I was not disappointed.
Okay, so IMDb, and
IMDb.
I was thinking about IMDb today. Okay, real quick before you get into the IMDb, imagine you're watching this thing back in, let's say, 85, 86, 87 on VHS, and everything turns on. You don't have access to the fucking internet. You know, if you like movie shit, you got to order magazines that you read from and get the rags, as they call them, the kids on the street called them, and learn all this shit. If you were to turn Ghoulies on for somebody who didn't know much better, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's fucking Eric Roberts.
Yeah, I can totally see that. Yeah,
He must have done this right after Best of the Best, right?" Because
you're
I
right.
mean, that's totally. And you sit with it for long enough, and you're like, "Damn, that dude does look like fucking." You could get away with it back then, though, because people didn't know any better. It might even help your movie out. Might even be like, "Is that fucking Herb? Get my glasses. Is that Julia Roberts' brother? I can't back."
I had that experience actually while watching the movie. I said, "Is that Mariska Hargitay?" And I had my IMDb and I had to pull it up and said, "Well, I'll be dipped in toast and sucked with your butter." That is Mariska Hargitay.
Dipped in toast and sucked through butter.
What the
I love it.
fuck?
I like that we do this the way we do this and we don't take it all that too seriously, because sometimes I feel like just the laughing part is the best part. It's like therapy. All right, so suck me around through butter and hornswoggle me and fucking. All right, good. Please, though, we already are going a little bit long, so why don't you do the IMDb? Who directed it? Who's in it? When did it come out? And what does I? Well, I really do want to know what IMDb thinks. Ghoulies are.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's great. All right, this bad boy is directed by Luka Barakovicki, which is sounds foreign, and this movie seems foreign. Like it doesn't seem like it was made with an American sensibility. Does
And
that make sense?
an American, maybe an American cinematic sensibility.
Yeah, that's what I mean
Right.
for sure. So Peter Lipus, Peter
Lupus
Lipus,
is a serious
Lupus.
disease that you shouldn't joke about.
I would never would I, but apparently it fucking makes you look like Eric Roberts.
Yeah, he's a
Uh,
handsome man. He's 80s handsome. This guy is.
so 80's handsome, dude, and 80's ripped, like not buff, but he just has like he goes to the gym once a week and just kind of
He
half-asses
looks
it.
like Lance Henriksen in Pumpkinhead. Just like,
Totally.
yeah, just like sweaty, sexy.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the sweet Selleck stash. He
No.
doesn't need that. He doesn't have to support his awesomeness. He's just
No.
like, do you see how oily I am?
Yeah.
From
And a
what
thick head of hair that sticks up 6 inches off his head.
I
Like,
saw a Smurf surfing in it in one scene.
damn. uh, Lisa Pelkin played Rebecca, the 80's hot girl. Very curly hair.
This is
Very
love interest.
the love. She's more than a love interest in this, dude. She's the co-star. Come on.
I don't know. I think the co-star is the toilet ghoulie.
The toilet ghoulie. Fair enough. Um, we have porno's Michael DeBar. That's the only thing I can see him in is like a porno just being like, "Are you ready to fuck?"
Oh, he's that guy. I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also has the hair, and he talks to all the chicks like he's like, "You want to dance later?" And she's like, "I don't know. Yeah. You know what? My man is rocking some condoms and shit. So at least he's being responsible in that regard. He's like, I ain't gonna spread no disease later. This the 80s. We know what everything is fuck going around. It ain't a good time for that." But he
Yeah.
was hitting on all of it. He just walked a line and like was like, something will land. If I just go around and fart all over, someone will be attracted to my stink.
Gross. Also, not the guy I'm talking about. The guy that I'm talking about is the dude who was like the master of the devil.
Oh, okay. So his dad, that's our main guy's dad.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
looked like a porn star.
Mm, fair enough.
Jack Nance playing Wolfgang. I want to know more about Jack Nance's character.
So Wolfgang is our dude we meet at the beginning who doesn't come back till the end, correct?
Right.
Okay, all right.
But he's an
You
integral part of the
yeah,
story.
yeah. So you could just leave it there. We'll get there. There's your little bait, people. Why you want to wait? You need to know the mystery of the Wolfgang.
Um, I have a lot of questions about this character. I'm hoping you can shed some light.
Okay.
Ralph Seymour plays Toad Boy.
They fucking talks like this every once in a while for some weird reason.
Why?
I don't know. The same.
And he almost gets laid at one point. And I was like, how
You're
how
right.
did this
She's
happen?
like, dig around in the shit and get my necklace. If you get it out of the doo-doo water, he's like, fuck. I talk like a toad and shit. So she thinks I actually like the water. It's just a defense mechanism because my dad used to beat me when I was a kid.
Yeah, 100%. And then Mariska Hargitay just stealing every scene with her star power, dude.
Yeah.
This could have been like Special Victims Unit, dude.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's so good. Um, I just like that they call her Bobby Breesy plays the Temptress.
And
She should be calling
is she ever played like a temptress, dude? She just shows up like barely dressed, like, hey, dude, that's been horny all movie.
he literally just had sex and he's ready to go again.
See anything you like? And he's like, oh, daddy likey, got the condoms.
Yeah. And then it's just turns out it's just porn star boy, dude, back from the grave.
Right, with a crazy long tongue.
All right, let's get right to what IMDb says this movie's about.
Okay, Ghoulies.
A young man and his girlfriend move into his parents' old mansion where his satanic father is buried and immediately becomes possessed by a desire to conjure and control tiny demons.
Dun, dun, dun.
Tiny demons.
Where have you gone? Where have you been, my tiny demons? My only friends. We open up on a satanic ritual where they're going to kill a baby. We do see some of the tiny demons, but
Cold
just
open. Satanic ritual, killing a baby.
we do see some of the tiny demon mouths like like
Their teeth are very
demented
upsetting.
Muppets. Yeah, like and they're very viscous, very very goopy, very oily and oozy. Well, at least the ones that are supposed to be. The other ones like I might be a fucking bat. You know, they all have somewhat of a unique look, whether it be a rodent type character, a like I said, bat type character, some sort of cat, bear-ish, something or other type character. And then you, of course, have the green, what I consider the ghoulie. He doesn't, to me, really have a maybe a worm, you know, like a worm that's upright somehow, and or a sperm. He's a big sperm with the mouth, with the little teeth. Fucking Ghoulies 5 coming for your ovaries this fall.
Gross.
Start writing it, writer. The satanic ritual. Excuse me. I do apologize for that. I have been a little, you know. The satanic ritual is going on, and mom jumps up right before he's about to kill the baby. He's like, no, you can't fucking take the child. Fuck, save the baby. Puts a necklace on him. Dude's eyes are really cool, 80s green. Just
Like you could
glowing.
see the black light, dude, right off camera. Like it was lighting everything purple, but
Yeah.
his eyes were so green. And they love this effect so much
And they
that
used
they were just like, let's do this for 1 hour and 10 minutes of this 1 hour and 20-minute movie.
they do. I mean, that shit glows like Slimer. It's just like
So
great.
bright.
So, seeing right there, if we had like somebody to help us edit the show, our eyes could be like, ying, ying, ying. Somebody could actually do that. So we're looking for an editor if anybody ever wants to edit.
And someone to sing Pops Ghostly into the show.
Yeah, you can. I mean, pretty much just use what I sang if you want. I feel like it's almost there.
Yeah, like it pretty much is perfect already. It
I'm gonna
doesn't need
go-
much work.
I'm gonna go back and listen to it and be like, "You fucking idiot! Why? Why?" You got to vote in the comments, people. Is that intro worthy to get somebody to professionally sing, or is it total garbage that needs a humongous rewrite from the ground up? The Ghoulies are all excited from the sidelines. She puts the necklace on the baby. Our homie comes down. Wolfgang comes down and is like, "You shall not take the baby," and shit. And he grabs the baby and he goes running with the baby. It's like, "Don't worry, lad. We'll get out of here." There's a lot of fantasy in this movie, a whole
Yes,
lot of
sir.
fantasy at the same time. So he takes the baby. Mom's down there, and I think dad says, "I'm gonna kill you then," since blah blah blah. And then we get this narrator with maybe some lute music going on in the background, like do 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 do, and he's like, "And the years passed, and they thought the evil had been destroyed from the bloodline, but alas, there was one child, blah 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 blah." And then it's like, "Whoa, we just inherited this huge fucking mansion, dude." He's like, "I'm a super smart scientist guy going to college for science things."
He's wearing his Letterman sweater so
Right.
that we know he's from college.
Right. And she's like, "Oh, I love you. This is great. Let's just throw a rager." And we meet the two Beavis and Butthead character who just get smoked out everywhere they go. The dude's like, "Why'd you fucking run away with the joint, man? In the middle of the fuck." I'm like, "You only brought one joint." Like, if you stay that high, there's no way you only brought one joint. Each of you probably had a couple hidden in your sock. Ready to just pop out at a time like this to be like, "Everybody go." I'm getting high by myself. I hate ghosts. But you got these two we're introduced to, our musclehead who's trying to get all the ladies, the Toad character, and I think there might have been one more. Not 100% sure, but they all come for the initial party. Everything's going okay, lottie dottie. Let's have a good time.
There's a solo dance that, wow, man, that guy went for it. He
Oh
went.
yeah, he's running in a circle like Curly from the Three, like. It was
Yeah, he was.
unavoidable. I was a victim of circumstance. He was too, on the ground, full circles, and they're like, "Did he have a seizure? Did he die?" They even ask, "Is my dude dead?" I don't understand why he did that. The only dude who outdid him was Crispin Glover in Friday 4 when he puts on that fucking sweet rock music and starts killing it. But that Crispin Glover charisma you can't purchase. That
No,
just
you
I think
cannot,
that
dude.
has to be like a born with trait. You can develop very close, but any man who could do that and be like, "That's I want to go with him."
It takes years of abuse to become a Crispin Glover. You don't just get that level of crazy. Just live in life.
Right. You're like 2 steps down the ladder from a Leatherface. Maybe a Jason Voorhees. Maybe a Jason Voorhees. No, he's smart too, though. So maybe a Hannibal Lecter. Like if he went just a couple more, Crispin Glover has that Hannibal Lecter capacity. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah,
I like Crispin Glover, man. I'm a fan.
he's still around. Like,
So we see the ritual go bad. Now everybody's back, party's going on. He's like, "Let's do a fucking seance," because he's been reading the books, or a ritual. Let's do a ritual because he's been reading the books here and they're getting fascinated by the house history. We get some more narration over top of everything. It's like, "Hey, the fucking evil took him over and now it's controlling him and getting him, in his place to be or whatever."
it doesn't take long. He's pretty much turns evil like the first night in the house.
Right. The house
He
gets
just goes
collapsed.
down to the basement. There's like a pickaxe hanging on the wall. I was like, what is going on?
Oh, you're right. He does get down there and find some shit. Then, like his dad's old uniform or whatever is like, "Oh, we're gonna have ultimate power, but it's only gonna be pint size." All right.
Right.
Does everybody understand that the helpers are gonna be small, the demons are gonna be small, everything's gonna be fucking tiny. Got
Yeah.
it? Sweet. This is like the Jim Henson of fucking demons. That's what we're doing. They are everyone who shows up, but he starts pushing that direction. In this instance, we don't see the demon manifest. It happens once they all leave. We see the little "Wow," nobody's taking it seriously, like and he's like, she's even like, "How do you know how to do this?" "I don't know, Becky. I just know." First sign.
This one chick screams. She's like, watch this. I'm going to scream and fuck everything. Ah! He's like, shut up, bitch. I'll fucking kill you. Now take this fucking seriously. And then he's all, abba, luba, la, ba, ba.
When I was little, I used to get scared that if I repeated things like that I heard in horror movies, that it would fucking open some scary gateway. I never repeated Chucky till I was probably at least 36, 7,
Dude, those
8.
kids used to fucking go in the bathroom, close the door, and do Bloody Mary. Fuck that.
We used
I
to do
don't
that.
fuck around with demons.
Light as a feather, stiff as a board. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. We're just fucking idiots, though. But you're right. We were latchkey kids. Let's just keep blaming it on that. Everything that's wrong with us, we could be like, man, we got fucking left home alone for a while. They did love us. They did love us. It's not like they didn't love us, but they just kind of left us there while they went to make fucking tons of money to pay off.
Yeah, and the last thing they thought we were doing was performing satanic rituals, but that was 100% what we were doing.
Or choking each other out playing the pass out game.
Always, dude. Yeah.
That's why I'm laughing now. So he is slowly getting taken over. We see this transformation happening. He tells her, I think I don't want to go to school. I think I want to fix up the house. Like, look, we're fucking rich. I'll go back to school. Don't worry about it. Let's fix it up. We can live here. The house is pulling him in, wanting him to stay there. She's like, I don't know. He's like, I'm going to forge this ancient necklace piece and put it on you. And now you're my servant to wander around whenever you wear the fucking thing. You do whatever I tell you. Oh, okay. He starts pushing things further and further, summons the two little people. Who
What was up with that, dude?
I don't know. I forgot all about this. And I'm like, huh.
You've already got little demons. What if you need little folks for that were in like little armor? Where did they get their little armor produced?
You know, how, like Tarantino has that foot thing.
Oh, you think he has like a little people thing? little folks?
I know a guy, a close friend of the Navy, that was very into the pornography with the littler folks in it.
It's fun sometimes. You know that firework that you like tack to the like a tree and then it spins around? You could put two little sparklers in their hand and just spin them on it, and they just spin on your lap.
Listen, very quick, and I hate to interrupt. I just don't want to forget MS. I can blame the MS for this. My brain fog and shit. Did you ever listen to those movie guys when we had Pat Silvis on there from the UK?
I heard you guys talk about him all the time, but never heard him.
Dude, my kid brother is touring over in Europe right now with his band and met fucking Petros, and I got a picture of my little brother with this dude that I met through podcasting, and I was just
That's rad, dude.
That's so rad. So anyway, back to the movie. So we have our two little they almost look like little Viking dwarf warrior types.
Yes, they do.
That's what made me think of Willow. Once I saw these, I was like, use the wand. Which one has the fucking magic? Nope. They look like that, and they seem very apprehensive. Like, do they even want to be bad?
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do either, but they're under control of this dude, and we're keep getting more and more of the little ones that like show up. He starts wearing sunglasses all the time, getting more into the rituals, draws the big circle, gets everybody over. He's like, Rebecca, we need to have a dinner party. And she's like, yes, this girl is high on it. She has done too much cocaine.
Yeah,
She is
dude.
Michelle Pfeiffer in Scarface one step further. If you were to take that character one step further, like, you know, it's not just like your womb was polluted, man. Like, this girl's a straight Stepford wife, not saying nothing except whatever he wants because he's controlling her. And we saw him in the basement. She even comes home and he's floating with fucking rain flying everywhere.
Raining inside.
And at first she acts like she understands what's going on, and that caught me off guard.
She acts like she caught him jerking off. She's like, what exactly?
This. And I'm like, please expand upon what this is, because your man is just soaking wet in the basement holding a big fucking spear in robes getting doused with water, and all the little like go hiding away after he, you know, brings them all into the
And she's so pissed that he doesn't want to eat her food. Like, she's getting so mad. She's like, I made dinner. And then she runs upstairs and she cracks 2 eggs in a saucepan. I was like, what is that bitch making?
right.
That's
And,
more weird than what he's doing in the
just
basement.
standing behind her like, I love you. It'll never happen again. And I'm
Like, he got caught masturbating.
right. And like, this dude was down there tugging one out, but he was not. He was subbing in tiny little demons. And then they kind of make up a little bit, and that's when he gives her the necklace, and she's like, "Oh, it's beautiful," and he's like, "Oh yeah, now la 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 la, fucking does some, whatever on her," and she's consented. Let's have this big dinner party, brings everybody there, puts them on the big circle on the ground, or maybe teleports them all from dinner, and then they're all on the circle on the ground, and then they're all teleported back to dinner, and he's like, "We gotta go to bed."
They
Like,
got one move, dude, and it's throw the little sparklers into the big pot. Like that's the big move for the king poobah. He does it, and then that's what his kid does later. He's like, check this out. Like, I'm satanic. And
right.
like the smoke comes up, and he's like, ah la la ba la la la, and then the green light lights up his eyeballs, dude.
Like a sweet 1974 wrestling intro. Just like smoke bomb. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, but like you're doing all your own like pyrotechnics because you don't have
Right.
enough money to hire somebody.
Right.
Kind of like singing your own intro.
Uh, 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 You're right. But at this time, his magic is getting so strong. He does some big thing with all the people to keep. He's trying to keep amassing power, and he accidentally brings his dad back, and he comes up like a straight Thriller Michael Jackson video. First, the tombstone calls all the way up, so you can read the whole name, and then he's just like doom 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 doom. Starts coming through like a zombie with a blue face. Gets a fountain full of little people, and he's like, "You're my little green turds now. Like, come on, let's go." And they're like, "Hey, mama, mama." They're ready to go with him. Inside the one, we did forget to mention though that creepy fucking Dracula doll kind
Yeah,
of.
like yeah, that brought me back to Hell House.
Yeah. Yeah. And Lineage is a lot about the clowns, just so you know.
Mhm.
It's a lot about who everybody was and how it all tied together. But either way, you have this remind me a bit more of just a modern, oversized doll version of the thing from Poltergeist. The clown
Totally,
from
yeah.
Poltergeist. Like that type of material, that type of smell, that type of look. Not as big and elongated with the rubber hose arms, but it had this weird Dracula face, almost like the mask from Trick or Treat. That like,
Yeah,
wrong way, don't fuck crash us into the hole. That thing they find in the closet, then it moves, and they're like, oh shit, and then it gets another girl, and then it's fucking ripping his face off, and it's a whole nother creature. We get a lot of people dead by the creatures and essentially dad's hands. And dad, like you said, shows up as a temptress at one point. Then this really cool practical tongue comes flying out and wraps all around her neck. And I'm wondering if it was the same studio that did A Nightmare on Elm Street
yeah, it looks very similar to that
when
effect.
Joey got the tongue around his neck. I think it was Joey, but either way, they are running amok all throughout the house. She starts to get away. He puts her upstairs and he's doing this like meditative green glow eye thing where I don't know if he's controlling all of this shit that's going on, the chaos, but she wakes up and she's like, "What a weird dream." And then he's there like, "Fuck you." After this weird dinner scene where all the creatures are in the soup and shit and nobody seems to notice.
Right, yeah. I was confused.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was a hypnosis thing or something,
And they're
but
all wearing weird sunglasses.
they do bring that up. They're like, "Why do we got to wear this?" It's like it's all part of the theater.
I read that the movie was going to be 3D and you were supposed to put your glasses on when they put their glasses on and then it would go to 3D and then switch back and forth to 2D. But they filmed like one day on 3D and we're like, this is fucking hard. We're not going to do this anymore.
But the script is already there, which
Yeah.
would make sense of them crawling out of the turkey and shit. This rodent rat looking ghoulie coming out of the turkey, and you're right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Either way, we get them being weird, him, and then the dad ends up killing all his friends, and they're all bloody faced, or the ghoulies get them. The bats are flying around, coming after you. The one comes out of the shitter. the scariest 2 seconds maybe of cinema of all time. It's just seeing this little green fucking, if I could take my hat off without having to take like this bald green, just like coming up, ready to just get your booty
Get your booty.
straight up. That's the Ghoulies shirt I want. Is just him in the toilet and says, "Gonna get your booty," because that's all anybody remembers. How scary this shit was. I don't recall when he takes a turn for the better. He was betrayed by his little henchmen at one point, but then they really wanted to help. And then Wolfgang comes back, and there's this wizard battle goes on where you get like fucking Harry versus Voldemort, just like you protect me, but it's just blue light versus red light. There's not a lot else going on. And he's like, I'd never leave you, boy. I knew you'd come back, and I'm ready. Like this Van Helsing. I don't know where he came from, but he's here now. And he shows up and fucking takes the guy away. They disappear into nothing because his dad was like, I'm going to take your soul. And he's like, you can't take my soul for some reason or another. And he's like, then I'll take her soul. And I want your youth. And he's like, they do it. And blah, blah, blah. Fights back. It's very Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader. He's fighting back against his dad. Like, no, you can't have my soul. And dad's like, what? He's like, child fucking tricks. And that's when I think the Van Helsing Wolfgang shows up like a ninja. He's like, not today, old chap. Da, 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 da. Now he's there. We leave the house. We have a handful of they all come back. Nobody dies in this. And that makes a lot more sense now that you told me it was a PG-13 rating.
13.
A lot more sense. Everybody comes back at the end, even after they have been accosted by all of these little demon monsters. Our two little helpers are maybe sent back to wherever land, and he's in a he's in a car, him and Rebecca and one of the friends, and they're like, "Where to now?" Like, I don't know, man. The fucking world is our oyster. And then you see them all come up over the shoulders, like, and they're ready to attack. The Ghoulies are there. And it would spawn, like I said, a couple of sequels. There are Ghoulies 2, 3, and 4. 2, I want to say, is the one I remember the most from my childhood. 2 is the one I remember the most. And then 3, I did watch at some point within the last 5 years. And, you know, it's kind of direct to video. It's what the culture was doing at the time. Really trying to take a property that's even a little bit identifiable.
Right.
Like slap some shit on there. Ghoulies at college. I'm a puppeteering fan, so really any of the Ghoulies to me, there's something for me to enjoy. I don't know if other people are like that, but Ghoulies at college was kind of fun. It's not like complete dog shit, but anyway. So out of 5 toilet demons, how many do you give 1984's Ghoulies?
I give 1984's Ghoulies a half a toilet demon. This movie sucks. It is so hard to sit through. I know you love some puppets, but even the puppetry was just dog shit, dude. It was
a couple
just
times where I saw people's hands
yeah.
inside of the monster's mouths.
It was so bad, dude. The characters were total dog shit, unlikable. The temptress was gross. I mean, like the red-haired chick with the curly hair. Like
Oh yes, not the temptress, but
she wasn't the temptress. She was the co-lead, like I said.
yeah, she was the one that got attacked by the monster and it like rips its face off and
Right. Yeah. Like I didn't buy for 1 second that her and Eric Roberts even liked each other, much less loved each other.
I believe that this was in a lot of ways a response to horror cinema doing the, you know, the video nasty era and the direct to video era and stuff like that. I don't know what kind of box office or anything this did, enough that they made a sequel and shit like that.
Yeah, they got 4 sequels.
It reminds me the feeling I get from it, and this might sound weird, but the feeling
I get that.
from it is reminiscent of Dolph Lundgren's Masters of the Universe,
Which I love.
which I do too. There's a lot, but if you really, I think if you were to take somebody who
like
doesn't have
now.
that, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah. Show
trying
it to
to
the
like,
masters of the universe, and they're like,
like,
"What?"
what happened?
Yeah,
We were like, we like to do like chicken, blah, blah, blah." We had that.
yeah.
And you didn't see Ghoulies in the time that it was released, but I do think, like I said, this wasn't the one that did it for me. I think it was Ghoulies 2, where it's a little more fun, a little more of the puppets and stuff like that. But this, I do feel, is a testament to its time in the mid 80s is just chaos horror filmmaking,
It
man.
is that for
It's
sure, dude.
100% that. And as you get to know the puppets through the subsequent sequels, it's
Right. I'm sure that once you get more characterization, I'm sure that it all comes together, and
why
that
is he in that toilet?
right. Why is he? What is the motivation of being
Right,
in the toilet? Why, once in the toilet, do you pop out of the toilet? Are you
right.
attempting to make someone scared, or are you trying to breathe because you don't
Or
breathe toilet
what
water?
if what if there's tiny little people in there and he just hopped out like Free Willy and there's a little guy like, yeah,
What if those two little helpers, yeah, are like
right,
from the toilet?
toilet land.
What? Maybe it's
Oh,
not Munchkin Land. Maybe it's Toilet Land.
River Jordan, and I didn't say to thee, go toilet monster, you're my friend.
Just the toilet monster jumping out of the toilet, and he's all ah.
Right. Like, yeah, little pieces of shit. Yeah. Oh. Okay. I am giving Ghoulies from 1984 a 3 out of 5 toilet monster.
Wow, wow, dude,
I
that's got to be a nostalgia response.
I do believe a little bit of it is. However, I think if you were to take a big sampling of movies from this time period,
Yeah,
it was chaos, dude. If we really look back on it, there's a couple people. That's why, Spielberg and Lucas and those guys made it so far because they were like, I don't really do drugs. I just like the movie making part. They're like, wow, this is a great story because everybody else is like, we need 3D everything.
yeah.
Sharks, yep, run it. Fucking gremlins, make them everything fucking awesome. Run it. Do all this, run it. And you had some cool shit that happened, but there was a lot, especially in the horror world, that I know you aren't as quite familiar with. We've seen a couple of the things that are of that time and a little more off the beaten path. But Ghoulies to me stands as a not a great movie in any sense of the word, but there is a
But
lot of fun to be had with Ghoulies. So I'm going a straight 3 out of 5 toilet monsters. There's just something there for a little ghost like me. Okay. It is that most wonderful, wonderful time of the show when we are going to pause for the living. And a part of the show that people really they respond to well, and I hope they continue to do that. Gotten some good feedback, usually private type feedback, not like people don't like putting in the comments like, oh man, I struggle with some shit too. And that's totally awesome. You don't have to, just know there's other people out there going through it with you. And that is my pause for the living this week is just going through it, going through life. So we went down to Orlando. First time I've really traveled big since getting the diagnosis and all that shit. We went down to Orlando. My sister last year she reserved this Airbnb that was just fucking crazy. It
all
was
the pictures, man, that was nuts.
it
It
was
was like
awesome.
licensed.
Yeah, it was wild. And we had our own little hot tub in the back and our own little pool and a big TV and shit outside where you could hang out. But we did a lot of the parks. And we did the horror nights and then we did Magic Kingdom and then we did Universal Epic and then we turned around and, made it back home and all that shit. I had mentioned on the podcast before about a friend of mine who's going through some heavy shit and we did lose her while I was gone, which sucks fucking, royally, but at the same time, I feel like that's how it even mattered in the first place. Like if it sucks when you lose something, that's the only reason it mattered in the first place. Especially when it comes to people. Stuff we can put some unnecessary burden upon our things. Like, oh my gosh, I lost my phone. I'm having a full fucking panic attack. That's very different. But Jen Brisbell's somebody that I was close to over the years. You know, not hyper close to, but we were definitely good friends. And the last couple times I saw her, I know, you know, that I really tried my best to just be there with her in that moment. I try that with all the people I'm with in my life. I not always successfully. It's fucking hard. Like when I was going through Disney and Universal, you boy got frustrated a couple of times, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. It's not, you know, it's not about living a life that is immune to frustration or pain or defeat or, you know, I tripped with my fucking little walker rolly thing right in Harry Potter fucking land, crashed, fucking smashed my elbow. I got bruises all over. My kid was sitting in it and she fucking smashed and cut her leg all up and shit. And it's pouring rain on us, pouring rain the whole time while this is happening. But that's, you know, nothing comparatively to losing someone that you care about. But as I was down there, I wrote some stuff, you know, thinking about her and just thinking about the people in my life. And it just feels like the opportunity to talk about, you know, and I've mentioned this so many times before that death is like ever present, man. It can go from like, ah, my shoulder hurts to, or I got a bad headache to like, okay, now 7 days later, somebody's not there anymore.
Yeah.
That happens every day. We just don't feel the weight of it because we tend to, you know, only be impacted by our kind of familial circle, whether that be direct family members, loved ones, friends. Even sometimes, you know, you be at work and there'll be a coworker that passes and somebody who knew him for fucking 10 years, you just showed up, you're the new person, and you see them devastated, you're like, oh yeah, that kind of sucks, but you don't really carry that weight. You know, it's
Uh-huh.
when you actually know someone and care about someone that I think that weight becomes very heavy. And so that's been kind of tricky, but also looking at it from the perspective of, you know, it is another reminder of the frailty and the brevity of the human condition. And the important shit I do believe is just tell those people in your life you fucking care about them. Like the little shit isn't gonna I was talking to my wife, and I look it up every once in a while, and I think right now to be in the top 1% of global wealth, it said you have to. And I can't remember the study, but it seems reputable enough. It said you have to make $9,700 a year.
97,000, you mean?
9,700.
$9,700? So $9,700?
That's how poor most of the world is.
Oh, okay. Got you were saying
Think about
1%. I
that,
thought you were
dude.
talking
Yeah.
about being rich. I was like, what?
So you are, if you make over 10 grand a year, you're in the top 1% of global wealth. You're one of the top 1% wealthiest people in the whole world.
I don't feel that way.
Well, because ours is like comparative wealth. You
Right.
know, in the United States is a very different thing, and around the world it's a very different thing. Some places it's almost nothing. Some places it is nothing. Some places it's more. Some places it's less. However, so much, not everything. I always try to walk carefully and not demonize everything, but I feel like so much of what we are sold is just fucking junk. At the end of the day, it's junk. And we need to take the time to look inside and say, why do I want what I want?
Yeah.
What is driving me? And figure that shit out. But I don't think we like to do that very often. And it is hard and it is uncomfortable, but it is so fucking important. I feel anyway, if you don't want to get to the end of life and be like, fuck, fuck, I was so mad about some stupid shit. I
Yeah.
was angry at my fucking brother who I remember from childhood. We were just fucking thicker than thieves and we got separated on some shit that we both left grow and become rotten and fester and take over a whole chunk of our being. And at family reunions, we stood far apart from one another and barely looked at each other. And now that I'm looking at death's door and realizing I'm never going to see this dude again, I realized that was pretty fucking dumb.
Right.
And that is reality. We don't know when it's coming. You're not gonna be like, oh, I'll get, you know, if it's something you keep saying, I'm gonna get to it one day, I'm gonna get to it one day. Just fucking get to it. Especially if it comes to people, you know, if there's somebody that you've let a relationship slide, and and why do we let them slide? I don't know. You know, I've had some of my own that I've been fortunate enough to come back around to in my life, but sometimes they come, and some relationships, some friendships just go. You know what I mean? They're meant to be short lived, and that's okay. That's cool. But there are other ones I think that we know we shouldn't have let go. You
Oh
know,
yeah, I've got
and
those in my life for sure.
yeah, that we know we shouldn't have let go. And I think we all have those in our lives, and just bite that bullet and be like, I'm gonna be the one to fucking reach out, and just reach out and be like, man, I fucking miss you. You know, that's all it's got to be. I was just thinking about you. I try and do that now. If I am thinking about someone, I try to send them a message while I'm actively thinking about them. Hey, I was just thinking about you. I just want to say I hope you're doing well, man. Because I fucking was.
Right.
You know, it's not a superficial thing. Like if somebody pops into your mind in some sort of a good light or something, then send them a message and let them know, like, hey, you crossed my mind and it was a fuck good feeling. Hope you're doing okay. And that's all it's really got to be. But it feels good, I think, to get those messages from time to time. Like, hey, hope you're doing all right.
Yeah, and I always think like, oh, they probably don't want to hear from me.
And right,
But so I don't want to send the message.
right. Oh, I don't want to impose.
Yeah, like if they hate me, I don't want them to have to think about me today.
Think, try not to think like that. And try not to think like that. Don't think about the consequence.
Right.
Think about you had a good intention, whether it's how it's received. Like you're essentially throwing a pass of niceness.
Yeah.
If somebody decides to catch it or watch the pass coming and let it fall to the ground, that's not on you. You had a good intention. You got to look at just your own intention. And usually, I don't know about usually, but I do believe at least a little bit that when we come from a good place like that, people see that, they know that. There's something in it, even the text message. You could tell if it was typed with angry fucking fingers or if it was typed, with more like, hey, da 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 da, just whatever. But be aware of death's presence. It's ever fucking present. It's all the time around us, and take the time to foster those relationships that matter. You're always welcome here at the Horror Pop Manor. We'll keep trying to spread some messages like this, and I think when we do lose somebody, one of the best things we can do is just try and live in a way that would make that person smile, or make that person happy, or recognize that person in some way, like, oh damn, like, I shared this place with this person, that's cool, or this thing with this person, like, that's cool. You can recognize those things and let them in a way live almost through you, like give them your eyes a little bit. So, yeah, crazy week. Disney's is, man, I can't imagine the amount of money that place makes.
It's an eye-opening experience. I have recently been there, and I can't believe you did Universal and Disney, Mr. Moneybags.
Not Mr. Moneybags. I told my sister, I said, you put me in so much new debt inviting me here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but I did look. I was interested after I left the gym. We just did Magic Kingdom. We didn't even do all four of them, but I was interested and I looked. And it said on average between all the parks, they get about 159,000 people go through Disney daily.
Damn.
So if you think about the cost of a ticket and a fast pass and a meal and now the operating cost has got to be really high, but
For sure, dude. For
I
sure.
mean, I was at lunch hanging out with a woman who was sitting next to me, and I just, started talking to her and her family. I'm like, "Oh, where are you from?" She's like, "Oh, we're here from Liverpool for 2 weeks." And I'm like, "That's gnarly, man. Like, that's awesome. Tell me more about what everything you got planned in it." There's so many people in Disney who have come from all over the world. Like
Yeah.
so many cultures and people represented in that one theme park,
Yeah.
just all in one place together. I can't imagine how much it does for the city of Orlando and all the surrounding areas. All those little shops on the side of the road, like get your Disney TC, dollar
Yep.
$5.99. You don't got to pay for all the heavy stuff. But yeah, it was very eye opening, but it was also very rewarding. Like I said, there were some hiccups here and there, but I feel having the tools to deal with that shit helps a lot. Like even at one point, like my kids were fucking like everything was right there, dude, bubbling. And I even told them, I told Shayna, I told everybody, I was like, I need a minute in the car for a second. I just sat there and did some breath work for a little while. Just tried to do nothing but breathe. It was like, don't let this, you know what I mean? Just breathe. Get back to a place that's not that angry place.
Yeah.
And it took a little bit, and we had a really good time. All things considered, everybody did good. But it's a tough beast,
Yeah.
especially when your legs and shit don't want to work right. Okay, so what do we got next week? What do we got going on?
Oh shit. I haven't looked this up yet, and it's been a minute since
I did see some
we've been
good.
on.
Listen, though, while you're looking that up, I did watch Good Boy, which was very good. That one of the
Oh, I heard
paranormal
that.
thing
Heard
about
that's
the
good.
dog's perspective, which was cool. I watched the most recent I Know What You Did Last Summer while I was on the plane
How was that?
to Orlando. It was all right. Wasn't bad. A slasher, throwbacky, twisty, turny kind of a thing. I watched Ballerina from the world of John Wick on
I
the
thought
plane.
that was cool. It's got
I
shit
liked
on a
it.
lot, but
I liked Ballerina a
I
lot.
thought it was cool as hell.
Um,
Did you watch the new Welcome to Derry yet?
Not yet, but I've heard my nephew. My
That
nephew
shit goes hard.
My nephew sent me a message and he was like, "Yo, Unc, what's up? You watch it yet?" And I'm like, "Not yet, not yet, but I promise you, I will get there."
All right, our next one is Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Ooh, have you seen this movie?
I've done this one. I did this one on my old podcast, and I actually had a coroner as my guest host, and
Oh,
it was a
crap.
wild ride. It was good.
I'm excited. Okay. We will come at you in 1 week. Until then, please like and subscribe for all the more funs and find us on the TikToks and the other social medias and all the things. And hopefully I won't be sick next time. I'll be coming
Woo.
at you super fresh to death. Da, 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 yeah. So for the Horror Pop Extravaganza, I've been Pops Ghostly.
And I've been Megadeth Duke Spooky.
No! No! No!
Horror Pop Extravaganza.